So I want to say this live right here gonna be dedicated to my brother that I call Z all the time. When he see this, he'll be like, "Wow, bro, you really did this for me right here." Like, yeah. Um, I kind of was sitting here, and while I was sitting here, whatever the case may be, um, I kind of was just starting to reminisce on my brother. Like, he always in my mind all the time. He always in my mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? But more importantly, um, you know, I remember he said something to me that was really, really powerful. He said many of things, but this one touched me, right? Where how can I say in simple terms? He said, "Yo, bro." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Bro." He was like, "Yo, it just hit me." I was like, "What's going on, bro? You all right?" He was like, "Hey, bro, it just hit me, right?" He was like, "You the only one in my pocket. You the only one that stood with me." I said, "Bro, I would never run off." It's to my brother Z, but I said, "Bro, I would never run off on you. I would never do that. It don't matter what the situation is, right? We were born, right, in the same household. We went through pretty much the same thing, same experiences. You more than my brother, you know what I'm saying? I don't look at you like a word. I look at you as something more." And he really touched me when he called me and he was like, "Yo, bro," he was a during this whole situation that I done went through, you know what I mean? He was like, "You the only one that was there." I said, "Well, I had told you that, right? Remember we was sitting in the car, we was on our way, we was traveling, going over here to North Carolina. I had told you in the car, I said, listen, I said, it was just us two, right? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can't go the way we going, right? So this is phone that I'm on right now because my phone is stolen, right? And I kind of went through some of his like pictures, and I wanted to look at them and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm the only one that's viewing his pictures, his social media. I'm the only one that care about his well-being. And you got to understand that I come from a family of 13. I know you like, bro, what? Yes, there's a total of 13 of us. There's a total of 13 of us. We have a very large family. But out of 13, only two of them are found. Everybody else is lost. And I know you would be thinking in your head, like, bro, you telling me out of 13, that's a big number. You telling me out of 13, only two remain. Everybody else folded. I can tell you, like, bro, I can get into dreams where you'll be like, bro, it's deep. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into some stories, right? I kind of keep these situations to myself, but I was like, shit, let's share this shit. It's all the experience anyway, right? So I remember one time before where, um, how can I say this? One time I was going through something, right? And my brother, being honest with you and being real with you, he's locked up right now, but being honest with you, if you were to read his court file and what they tried to charge him with, which is a pistol, you would start to understand in his court documents, he's completely innocent. I'm not saying that because I'm his brother, okay? The thing about the whole case was this. When I went to his, it wasn't a trial that he went to. This is when basically like, I would say arraignment and then after a couple of court dates after that, right? I was watching certain things. And what I was watching in his case was, they said that he had a weapon, right? And I knew he didn't have that weapon. That's not his. I know that, right? And so the house that we were in, this wasn't our house. We didn't own it. We didn't renovate it. None of that. It's not our home. Okay? And so when we came there, wherever the case may be, little did we know that the house wasn't, I guess the people that we knew that was occupying the house, I guess they didn't own it or renovate it, right? And so what it led into is the cops coming there. And when the cops came there, they pretty much arrested everybody, right? Now, the whole thing about the situation was they supposedly a pistol there. And for some reason, they wanted to pin it on him out of everyone else, right? My brother is like, he's dark skinned, right? And so everybody else is pretty much like fair skinned. You know what I mean? Everybody light complected. He the only one that's really dark. And so while I'm looking at this whole situation, I'm like, that's not his pistol. It's not. I know that. But I'm watching how law enforcement, right? How they basically used his girlfriend against him. And she basically lied on him because they told her, right? If you don't say this and this and this, then we can lock you up and do such and such. And the whole time I was telling her, like, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. They're using fear in order to get you to do what you're doing. Now, this is the whole thing. She calls him and tell him, pretty much, I got to tell on you because pretty much they're going to lock me up. I told her, like, that's not true. They pretty much trying to fearmonger you. Now, this is the thing. She go tell. Everybody know, like, so this is not his weapon. Let me show you. It gets deeper. Listen. He goes to one court date, right? And the arresting officer, they asked him between 3 to 4 main questions, right? This is before she told and lied on him. Listen to the shit, bro. The police officer literally says, and the DA asked him questions. They said, did you find a pistol on Mr. Rodriguez? That's his last name, right? That's not his real last name, though. Did you find a pistol on Mr. Rodriguez, on his person? They said no. Did you find the pistol in the same room that he was in? They said no. They said, did you find a pistol in a home or apartment that he owned or renovated? He said no, because the simple fact the house was not renovated by Mr. Rodriguez and he's not the owner of the house. So after that court date, bro, I'm like, he in the clear. He good. Bro, I kid you not. I'm like, yeah, he's in the clear. He's all right. Bro called me 2-3 days later and was like, yo, bro. I'm like, what's up? He like, I just got a call. I'm like, what call? He like, oh, girl, they pretty much trying to use her against me. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're in the clear. You're good. You didn't hear what the cop just said about what's going on? You good. He like, no, bro. She just called me and basically told me that they said towards her that pretty much if she don't basically lie on me or snitch on me, right, then pretty much, right, they going, I guess, something with perjury or something like that, right? And so I said, hold on. That means that she must have signed a statement against you then. No, that's how perjury work. I know how perjury work. If you sign a statement on somebody, right, and it's a legal document, and then you decide to say, oh, no, that's not true, they can hit you up close to a year. That don't mean they're going to do it, but they could hit you up close to a year for perjury. That ain't nothing. Really ain't. But she did what she did, right? He got a 2-year sentence on a pistol charge. Anyone can understand that on a pistol, usually you get 5, right? So how I'm looking at the whole game is that they gave him 2.5 years, right? He'll be home this year. The braziest thing about this situation is that his father wasn't there, his mother wasn't there, and none of his sisters' brothers was there besides me. Everybody else turned their back on him. And I said to myself, because this ain't got nothing to do with my brother, I said to myself, why I didn't turn my back on him? because he's the same reflection of you. Both of y'all was in the same case. Both of us. We both got locked up in that case. Okay? And he said the most realest shit to me. He said, bro, out of everybody, he said, you the only one that stayed around. He said, you even kept your fucking mouth shut. I said, you my brother. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I went, why would I do that to you, bro? He said, no, bro, you're not understanding what I'm talking about. He like, everybody that I'm around, that's what the fuck they do, bro. I'm like, what? He like, bro, I'm talking about all these motherfuckers in the prison. Pretty much if you look at their court documents, you understand that majority of these niggas is rats. And I'm like, bro, no way. He like, yeah. He said it just really just hit me. He was like, you was there the whole time. He was like, you gave me as much commissary as you can give me. You went to all my court dates. Like, he was like, you pretty much like held my hand through the whole shit. You never ran off on me. I said, bro, that's not how I operate, bro. No, I can see that they're trying to destroy you, but I'm not going to sit by and allow them to do that, bro. He said, bro, I'm in here with motherfuckers, right, where this is crazy. Some of the dudes would ask him, like, that's your brother sending you money and packages like that every month? And niggas is like, he was like, yeah. He was like, they was like, brothers don't do that. I was like, he was like, well, my brother do. I'm like, damn, the world done got this fucked up, bro. Damn. That's just some shit I was just sitting here kind of just reminiscing on. You know what I'm saying? Shit is. But he gonna be home soon. Watch, y'all see him on TV. Watch. I'll be sitting right there next to him. Y'all be like, bro said this shit and we thought he was fucking around. And this shit really smacked the TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, what I can say for myself is that I was proud of in that situation was I wasn't a rat towards my brother. And it's documented. That's not how I move any fucking way. Like, give me a second, bro. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. But I can say for myself, even if people went into our documentation, he was like, bro, you the realest I ever met for real. He said, literally, he said, I read the documentation. He said, you are very funny. I said, what am I funny in? He said, I'm reading the documents. And he said, as soon as they went to go question you about a pistol, right? This is what I told the police. I said, pistol, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. More importantly, you know what the fuck I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about right here. Y'all kidnapped us right here. We didn't agree to put handcuffs on the back of us and then throw us in the back of the car. That's kidnap. Bro, the minute I said that, they said, get this motherfucker out of the chair. Get this motherfucker out of the chair. Get this motherfucker. What the fuck is this? This motherfucker trying to infiltrate us. You damn right. Okay? That's the way I run. Fuck y'all. Right? So he was reading the documents and he was like, damn, you gonna be right here with me. I said, bro, I would never run off on you, bro. I would never tell on you, bro. I would never do some shit like that. That's not how I operate. You know what I'm saying? I got morals and respect. You know what I'm saying? So I can't violate someone that don't need to be violated. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of a story that two brothers that kind of went through consciously. And, you know, they really tried to keep us separated amongst each other. Like, for real, they really tried to keep us separated, but I always kept in contact with my brother all the time. Made sure that he called me, you know what I mean? Send him messages, what case may be. And currently, what I kind of see what's in the system is that for some odd reason, my cell phone got stolen by a police officer. Crazy as shit. And I'm sitting here because it's been about 2 weeks since my brother called me. And I'm not going to say he can't get in contact with me, but the phone that's stolen is the line that he usually contact all the time. So I said to myself, write him a letter. Yeah, write him a letter. That way he can understand, like, yo, I'm still good, or whatever the case may be. This is what just happened. You see what I'm saying? So I always understand that lines of communication can't be stopped. It's how you utilize your communication. We had to understand with ourselves, we have been programmed to use the cell phone all the time, not realizing that before the cell phone came about, we had ink and paper. There you go. And that puts you right back in contact with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so when I was sitting here to myself, I was like, yo, let me say this. I don't want to live in no world no more where we only connect with each other just a cell phone. I'm going to tell you why. The minute these cell phones stop working, right? And let's just say you on the east side, I'm on the west side, right? How do we meet back up consciously without our phones, bro? This is why I say we depend on certain shit too much. Because you got a loved one that's there, right? How do you meet up with that individual without a cell phone, bro? How? And the only way I can say that's done, if two conscious are aligned with each other, oh, y'all will see each other again. I'm trying to tell you, the world ain't the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. That's another part of the movie we gotta add in there. You'd be like, nah, it was two real brothers. They went through a case together. The other brother didn't snitch on the other brother, even though we know that, you know, in this life, other brothers have done that to each other. And that is so fucked up because it's like, yo, this your brother that came out the same wound as you. How could you violate like that? Like, that's why I say some people don't have ethics and morals. They just don't. And when my brother Z get out, he gonna pretty much confirm everything that I said. He gonna pretty much tell you, like, nah, bro was in my corner the whole time. Like, for real, like, he actually stood 10 toes down with me. He didn't run off on me. I didn't look at him like he was wrong in his decision because I understand that the weapon that they tried to try him with, that wasn't his weapon. The house that we was at wasn't even our fucking house. But for some odd fucking reason, they wanted to put everything on him. And I looked at that shit and I was like, this is fucked up. Yeah, this is why I say the justice system as a whole, the whole government, the whole police force and everything, they really fucked themselves deeply. They just, people going to understand it as so-called time going on. I would simply say to you people didn't get away with that. You know how we know you didn't get away with it? Let me show you. You know the same people that ran off from bro, right? They're trying to get in contact with him now. You know everybody feel bad about what they done? Isn't it kind of funny how reality works? Everybody wants, my bad, bro. We ain't even trying to hear that. We going on with our lives. Y'all have a great one. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know you are past things consciously, where you can look at someone like they already suffering already. Right, they already suffering already. Let me keep on going with my life. You know how you so ahead of the game, you don't even care about the people that ran off on you? You don't even give a fuck. It's like, damn, like, when you look at life, you be like, damn, out of all these families, you telling me nobody. That's from his father's side, too. Everybody know what happened, but everybody ran off like a fucking program. I said, fuck that, bro. I'm going to stay here with you. Yeah, I don't care what they say. I'm going to stay here with you and shit. Yeah, I'm not going to do what they're going to do. It's just something, I started really asking myself, like, why do I do that? And self was like, because you loyal to yourself in order to be loyal towards others. Only if they align with themselves. You don't be loyal towards others that's not aligned. You just don't. You can sniff it out in 2.5. Because some people will try to take a loyal person and use their loyalty against them in order to keep them within a certain type of trap. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, or whatever the case may be, right? What happened in this situation is that just understanding myself within my loyalty setting, right? That a lot of human beings can't really obtain. I congratulate myself in this situation. Yeah, I do. So that's why I tell people you got to congratulate yourself when you do certain things that's outside of this world. You understand what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. And so with that being said, or whatever the case may be, I said, shit, what else is in our journey together as brothers? What else? Because what I can say is that for a lot of brothers, you can put either money or pussy in front of them, and they would basically destroy their own relationships that they have with each other based on the world that you put in front of them. Me and my brother have already been tested when it comes to that department, and it seems as though like nobody can break us apart in this third dimensional world. Just can't. I remember this one girl, she tried it out because she never had an experience with someone that was real. So she wanted to test it out. She said, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, right? And then after that, I want you not to tell your brother. I said, fuck all that. I'm gonna tell you to your face, I'm gonna tell him. And I don't give a fuck about what you gonna say. Went right over there to bro. Yo, bro, sis, this ain't Thursday, sis, right? Now, this the braziest thing about this shit. When I told him, he just kind of looked up at me. He was like, oh, I already know, bro. I'm like, oh, no, I'm just keeping shit 100 with you because she told me don't tell you and shit. He was like, no. But I started understanding, my brother, he started understanding how I move. He started understanding like, okay, bro, don't hide shit from me. Nah, fuck I'ma hide shit from you for? You gonna figure it out anyway. Thank you. Might as well go ahead and tell you to your face. There you go. That's the way you do shit. Right there, right? So then, oh girl, she come back and she like, oh, that's how you really move? You really tell him this and that? I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. I'm loyal to my brother. Fuck wrong with you? I don't know you like that. I know him. I don't know you. Shit. Then this was the braziest thing about the whole situation. My brother came back and he was like, yo, bro, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, what's up? What's up, twin? What's up? He like, look, right here, right? He said, remember when we had moved to the one house? I said, yeah, what's up? He said, look, your ex, she came looking for you and shit. I said, bro, why you telling me about this shit, bro? Damn, shit like this I don't be wanting to hear, bro. Word, I thought you was gonna tell me some exciting shit, twin. Damn. He like, nah, bro. I'm telling you this shit because, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I should have told you, before. I'm like, bro, listen to me. I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you. I said, I could tell you why you already did that shit. I know why you did that shit. You did that shit because you got sick of me being with somebody in the past that you know that would try to tear me down. You only doing the best interest of what you can do for me, bro. And I can't be mad at you for your decisions, bro. That's how much I love you. I can't be mad at you and your decisions. You only protecting me, bro. That's all you doing. He literally was like, bro, what the fuck? He was like, I thought you was going to be mad at me. I'm like, no, bro, I can't be mad at you and your decisions. I can't control your decisions, bro. So why I'm going to be mad at you and your decisions? I can't control your decisions, bro. So why I'm going to be mad? I already know why you did it. You don't got to tell me. I know why you did it, bro. And when another twin know, they just know. You don't got to explain to me why you did it. You don't got to do that. And pretty much, how can I say in simple terms, pretty much he knew like, okay, so you must already know. I said, yeah, you did it just to protect me. That's it. Sometimes as family, twins, soulmates, we do certain shit, right? That in that moment, the other one may not understand. But later on down the line, then you would understand. And for me, I'm already within understanding because on the simple fact, it's an inside thing. It's not an outside thing. So I can understand why you already made that decision. You ain't got to tell me. I already know. And that's a different type of relationship with each other. Where you're like, you don't got to tell me, you already know. Like, yeah, I already know why you did that shit, bro. I already evaluated why you did it. When you told me it, I already know why you did it. I would have did the same thing, bro. That's how much I love you. I want to keep you away from shit that's trying to harm you and destroy you. So if I don't tell you about this motherfucker, you ain't gonna go back. I understand that. But the difference was this. For me, I was never going back to my ex anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I was actually going to do. Like, that's why I say, like, you know, when it come to me and him, if people gonna try it, but we solid. You can't turn me against him and you can't turn him against me. It don't matter what situation it is. We understand that most people that's around us is fucking lies to themselves anyway. So why would we believe in these motherfuckers? Okay then. You know what I'm saying? All right. This is what I'm gonna say, right? There's nothing wrong with Rick James. At least Rick James is someone to actually remember. See how that works? Damn. NPCs and CPUs don't get remembered. Shout outs to Rick James, though. Someone that was actually a famous soul that actually dwells within the technology of all people's minds. You notice that? Go get Jimi Hendrix for me, too. Go get Prince, too. I already heard all those names already. Every person that you refer to is someone famous, right? Someone famous that you remember, right? Right. They're rememberable, which means they dwell in your mind every day, okay? Those individuals in that timeline, I would simply say they rocked the stage. They did what they did. People in the 2000s, especially in 2026, you people are facing a lot of identity crisis. So you would never understand those unique people in that time frame. You never would. What it is these people right here have really no real culture or real things going on. And so a lot of people like to put certain narratives on certain characters that we all know is not true. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, everybody that refers right to me, notice that they always famous. Notice every time when someone comes up with me, they never tell me, oh, you look like such and such from down the block. No. They always say like, yeah, he look like somebody like this or like this, or such, he look like such, he kind of move like such. But understand that all those people are famous. No matter if you want to play them a different type of way in your mind, just always understand that the people that talk about them today, they never bought a ticket to actually see them, view them, or feel the energy through them. Understand that these people, right, never had a real experience with him. So with that being said, they don't know him. How the fuck you gonna get to know somebody, right? They already passed away, right? Or transcended, more importantly, right? And you think you know that person based on the lens of a television? You gotta be AI at its finest. You gotta be AI at its finest because you don't get to know somebody through the lens of a fucking computer. You gotta be AI at its finest. Got to. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, can't wait to see bro when he get out. Word. Come here real quick. Come here, baby. I'm gonna slow you down real quick. She said this would happen right here. Right? I'm just listening to this right here. I just want to see if this is actually accurate right here. You said, we are one people, one humanity, evolved the species with love and light. That's true. That's true? Last time I checked, human beings as a whole had took the image of the Christ and pretty much threw it down on the ground. I don't know what world you live into, but I live in a real world where humanity actually hates Christ. I know you don't live in the real world that I'm into. You live in a different world from me, like the third dimensional world, where you say humanity is love and light. I never seen humanity be love and light. I never even received love or light from a human. Usually it's a human always trying to take my love and light from me. Thank you. I never experienced none of that. And I'm not being funny with you. I'm being 100% honest with you. I never experienced love with a so-called mother or a father or sisters. None of that. I experienced love with myself. And more importantly, I'm just being honest with you. I don't expect people on the outside to love me. I just don't have no expectations when it comes to people. But I would simply say to you, I haven't experienced no love with humans at all. Okay? Maybe that's something you have experienced in the third dimension. I don't know what that is, but for myself, I experienced love with myself first. Yes. Looking from love from other people, I'm not saying it's not possible. But for myself, one time, I was with this girl, and I thought that you're supposed to search for love on the outside. And what I come to realize is that you can do that. I'm not gonna say you're going wrong for doing that, but more importantly, when you don't want to be tricked to the illusion of love, the best thing to do is to identify the love that is within you first. Once you identify the love that's within you first, then you understand that someone can't use love in order to trick your mind. You got it? We have been programmed to look for love on the outside ourselves. And I come to realize, shit, what I said? Shoot, I'm gonna find it with myself right here. And I found it. Had to dig deep. You know what I'm saying? But it was well worth it. Now, when a girl come to me, I love you, baby. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Let's see if that love have a condition right here. Make her upset. Make her upset. Do something to make her upset. Let's see if that love have a condition. That's when you know it's real love. Let me tell you something. If I love you, right? Let's say you made me upset. I'm so much of a player that literally, you probably make me upset, right? I'm still gonna ask you want something to eat? I know you're hungry. See, humans have condition on their love. Once you piss them off, fuck you. You don't need to eat from my pot. Well, fuck your ass. That's how humans move. Those loves have conditions on it. That's not real love. See, I need that unconditional love for myself. That's what I have. I'm like, hold on. We just made a mistake? Yeah, it's all good, bruh. I ain't about to throw myself on the ground. Right. This was the mistake that we did? Yeah, it's all good. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect. But what's perfect is that you can identify your mistake. Now you can correct your mistake. That's perfect because it's well balanced. That's why I say it's perfect. People say we're not perfect, but shit, some of the decisions that we make is perfect. We will literally make a mistake in front of our face and say, you know what? I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna frustrate myself. I made a mistake. All right, so let me clean up my act. Now that's perfect. That's perfect to me. Because you went with your lower self and you realize, that's not what we do. So we go back to higher self. That's perfect. That's balanced to me. I can't say you're wrong. We all make mistakes. Just don't repeat your mistakes. That's it. That's the part that everybody gets stuck in. They're like, so we can make mistakes? Yeah, but just don't keep repeating them, though. What's the point of repeating them if you already know about them? See what I'm saying? So, with that being said, that's how life moves, whatever the case may be. Okay, let me do this. Excuse me. Let me do this real quick. Bam. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I don't like stuff like that. I'm naturally just expressing as myself. I don't need nobody to narrate the words of what I'm talking about. It's like when you're speaking, right? I look at the screen for a split second. I'm like, why it look like they're trying to narrate what you're saying? Your own voice is the own narrator of yourself. How can someone on the outside of you try to express and they're not with you. Told you. That's how AI is though. AI is like, it's like a machine. Like the individual that's doing that, they're not a real individual. They're not. They don't know what a expression is. The only thing you can see that's down there literally is judgment, if you ask me. So I'll let them keep that judgment towards themselves. Those are the things that they're supposed to say to yourself, not the things that you're supposed to put on side of a screen. Maybe they can get those issues together with themselves. And another thing I also realized with the human race as a whole is that there's something wrong with the human race as a whole. It is. What's wrong with the human race is that it would literally view something, right? And it would make a problem out of it. It's like I was on the phone with this girl and I don't feel like I was really on the phone with a girl. I feel like I was on the phone with a machine because she asked me a question. She was like, hey, how do you know that these companies, because there was some companies that I was referring to, she was like, how do you know that these companies are in partnership with each other? I said, ma'am, you work for the company. How you don't know? And she just sat there on the phone. I'm like, this phone call can't be real, bro. This phone call gotta be fake, bro. It's gotta be. Just be honest. You're telling me you're on the phone with a representative that's creating a problem. Pay attention to shit. Your questions that you questions, right, you can question something, but it can lead into a problem, okay? And what people don't understand is this is when you know you talking to a robot or a program. I'm gonna show you. If you ever see someone create a problem, right, and they try to come bring you the problem, that's an AI. That's not a real person. Let me show you why. Remember in school, right? Remember we was taught like multiplication or adding and subtracting. What you have to understand is that in multiplication, you have to locate the problem. You use the formula as the solution. So if someone's mind can do that in front of you, why would someone create a problem and then try to throw it to you and they don't have the solution for themselves? That's a machine, if you ask me. That's a machine, if you ask me, because on the simple fact, your mind only operates in one way. Now, the lady that I was speaking to was a Jamaican woman, right? And I don't have nothing against Jamaican people, or based on what they did, yeah, get fucked over right here, right? But more importantly, I got on the phone with another girl. I can't say she was a white girl. She kind of sounded like she was either Asian or Chinese, one of those. And as I'm paying attention to how mind move, I understand with her mind, she like, nah, I work on both sides. She like, tell me your problem. I'm like, my problem is such and such, such and such. She like, okay, this is the solution right here. She was like, what's going on is I'm gonna take this report right here. And after that, within 48 hours, someone's gonna contact you through either your email or they're gonna contact you through your phone number. And what I started to understand in this world is that it's not that she's Asian or Chinese. It's just a simple fact. The technology in her mind has to be a balanced mind in order to operate with me. What I realize is that her mind operates just like mine. Let's locate the problem. All right, let's use the solution. All right, now we solve the problem. Now we can walk away from it. What I started to understand with the Jamaican girl mind, for some odd reason, she kept giving herself error and error and error, but she could not give herself the solution. So I actually wanted to see something about the Jamaican girl's mind and to see how it would operate with solution. She asked me a question. Her question was simply this. She said, how do you know that all these companies are merged together? I said, well, the company, right, named Flower City, right, has a partnership, right? Pay attention. The one company named Flower City has a partnership with Remedy Staffing. Remedy Staffing has a partnership with Employment Bridge. Employment Bridge has a partnership with other people. She still was on the phone like, how do you know that? Sad. I said, well, obviously she can't take solution from you. You just gave her the solution. So that means her mind don't operate with solution. Thank you. Furthermore, I told her, I said, I need you to do yourself a favor real quick. Look up these 3 companies. And when you look them up on your internet browser, the internet is going to tell you, right, that they all operate with each other. For some odd reason, when I gave her that, she put me on hold. So I'm like, I told myself, I said, keep all women and individuals that operate like that away from me. I don't want to be around those. No, hell no. No. It don't come down to color or race. There's understand the other girl I was talking to was either Asian or Chinese. It's just how her mind operates. And I wouldn't pick them based on color. I would pick them based on the mind. Her mind operates the way my mind is. Let's locate problem. Yes, this is the formula. There we go. We got the solution. The Jamaican girl mind, for some odd reason, just keeps bringing error. Problem. And I start to realize this is something that you don't want to be with. You don't want to be with someone where you're telling me your mind only operates in one direction. Now, this is the funny thing about it. I'm not done with it. After I gave her the solution, she said, this is what she said to me. She said, I need to get in contact with my supervisor, right? And I'm thinking in my head, like, how is it that I can use my own mind, right, to solve the problem with what you just gave me? But you can't use your own mind to solve it, and you work for these people. Trump, can you send her back across the border real quick? No. The reason why I'm sending her back across the border is not because she's Jamaican, okay? I'm sending her back across the border because you're a foreigner, for one. 2, you acting like you can't even program the right way. What's wrong with your programming? Send her back across the border. We need our minds. Yeah, that's it. Send her back. Send her back. We don't need that in America. It's bad enough that we got dumb Americans. And we're going to have dumb foreigners in this bitch. Send her shit back. Right back to Jamaica. Okay? Get your ass across the border. Don't nobody want to be on no phone with no fucking Jamaican that's fucking stupid with itself. Fuck wrong with these motherfuckers. And another thing I'm getting sick of, I'm gonna stop doing services with people that just y'all just got foreigners doing this shit. Yeah, I'm not getting none of y'all services, bro. Word. Y'all need to be employing Americans. Yeah, I want to hear Americans on the phone. I don't want to hear no fucking, where the fuck you from? I'm from Middle Eastern. Why the fuck you on the phone with me then? I don't want to talk to your ass. Damn. They got this shit running bad, bro. Amazon doing this shit. I don't know about Apple too much. I kind of ran into an American person off Apple, but how can I say? It's just certain shit. It's just all we do is talk to foreigners, but the services are in America. Yeah, you're right. So I can't speak to nobody in America. Oh, because over here we can kind of pay these people a little bit more. I don't give a fuck. Real shit. If you can't, how can I say this in simple terms? If you can't put the service providers and the customer service as us, it don't need to be in here. Right. That's why with a lot of companies, I don't even talk to the people. I just go through the fucking email thing. Right. So they can read the robot. There you go. The robot tell them like such and such. And for some odd reason, I get better customer service going through the email than actually talking to. This shit is funny. Life is funny, isn't it? All right. Shit, you asked them. I don't know what Kool-Aid is. Damn. After I said that, they walked out the door. I guess that boy must have subscribed to your channel. Right. Okay. You gonna be okay in there. It's just that, you know, the girl that's in your picture, I want to fuck her. You gonna let me do that? What? Don't look at me like that. Okay? Let me see if you're still in there. I'm not a black person. Could you please stop profiling me as well? Jamaicans are not black people either. Please stop profiling this, okay? Can you decode the profile what you just said? Now when the correction settle on that motherfucker, I'm not talking about you. Well, black people, what are you talking about? Because black people don't exist. Yeah, I'm just asking the question real quick. What is he talking about? Because black people don't exist. There's no black people on Earth. What dimension of conscious that person's from? They got to be from the third dimension. You said black people exist? Since when they existed? Since when? It's like people be talking about imaginary people that's not even on the earth. Stop. Slow down. AI program, right? I'm asking you a simple question. Prove to me there's black people upon the earth. Prove to me that. It's just a simple question. When you start asking the AI, right, like break down, right, what black people are. Zero information. Okay. They can't do that part, right? Prove to me that black people upon the earth. Can't do that. So stop speaking about it. Okay? Thank you. What I would simply say is that, right, the person that's behind the camera on the other side, right, focus on your own self and your culture. What is your culture about? Notice that we start asking people about their culture, right? Your eyes is focused on another culture. What is your culture about? Tell us. We listening. We want to know. If you're proud of your culture, you wouldn't have to hide it though, right? I know. Okay? So they'll let you know that other people's minds be so deep-rooted inside someone else's culture, right, that they can't speak about their own culture. What culture do you have? It shows you a lot about people. What culture you come from? Nothing? I guess not. Now, if you're going to use, right, that, you can use that. What natural sources you come from? Thank you. That's all we need to know. We'll basically push you back where you need to be at, okay? All right. I told you I can make them tell on themselves in 2.5. It's just easy. Let me see that right there. There you go. You'll be okay, okay? Go back the AI way. You'll be all right. At least you're telling the people the truth that AI is within people. Thank you. Okay? We just doing our own thing on this end, all right? Have a nice one. I told you I can make anybody tell the truth upon themselves. It's easy. Okay? So, you caught that for yourself. Like, bruh, no way. Yeah. Y'all be all right, okay? All right. Have a great life in AI, okay? All right, so you understand that they're machines, right? Okay? They starting to tell the truth on themselves. Remember, AI we used to be hiding and stuff like, bitch, I ain't no fucking AI. Motherfucker, you tripping. Now AI like, yeah, I'm a machine. You got me right here. You got me. Motherfucker, AI. I'm AI, you right. The world is changing, ain't it? Mm-hmm. World is becoming something beautiful, whatever the case may be. A lot of people gonna spill the self-hate that they have for themselves. And so what I do is I kind of reject people. Hell yeah, just reject their shit. Push their whole shit back. There you go. Not like that, but you know what I'm talking about. Push their self-hate back to themselves. There you go. Bam. I remember recently there was this pale skin. He was a man. I used to go to this place called The Core. And one time he told me, he said, you think you better than everybody. I said, no, let me tell you what it is. You could kind of tell you as a white boy, you was raised by your mama. And what it is your mama kind of put you underneath her skirt too much. And what happened is you expect that every time you see me, I'm supposed to respond to you or something. Let me show you how much I don't give a fuck about you. When you tell me that you think that I think I'm better than everybody, none of you people exist in my reality. So I don't generate you in my conscious like, yeah, I'm better than you. I don't even generate you in my conscious. You're not something to generate, my man. And that's the thing. You want this interaction. And me, I'm not like you. I don't need an interaction. I don't need you need to feel like something, right? When I interact with you. So you feel like nothing when I don't interact with you. Damn. If I had the real white dudes around me, they'd beat the fuck out this white boy. Because they would tell him like, yeah, you're like, are you a faggot or something? Why are you talking to another guy telling him, oh, you think you're better than everybody? Why the fuck are you even looking at him? You think that's something normal to say? That, bruh, that literally make you weak as a man. It do. It's like a little boy begging his father. That's how you made me feel in that situation. Like, please give me some attention because I was raised by my mom and I kind of look up to you like, fuck you, boy. I don't give a fuck if you look up to me at all. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Leave me the fuck alone. That's what's wrong with some of y'all pale skins. Y'all don't understand. Like, people don't want to operate with y'all. Y'all be on a different type of energy frequency. Don't nobody want to fuck with y'all like that based on what the fuck y'all already done. You got it? All right. Damn. We just don't fuck with certain pale skins. We don't. We just don't. We don't fuck with everybody, okay? You go to the black people, they gonna fuck with you. I'm not them, motherfucker. You got it? All right then. They looking for your happy ass and likes and shit like that. I'm not looking for none of that shit. You feel it. You think you're better than everybody. I say, what, because I don't talk to nobody in here? That means I don't give a fuck about nobody in here. Fuck wrong with this white? What the fuck is wrong with this pale boy? You need to get your programming reset. Yeah, you're underneath my nuts way too much. It's like you're putting my nuts on your face. The fuck off. What they said in the Bible about them is definitely true. They try to come around you. You think you better than everybody. Get the fuck off. Go somewhere. That's just what it is. Just being real. Like, that's weird, bro. You want another dude to just wrap around you and get the fuck away from me. You know what I like that do that? Girls. That's what I like. I don't hound them to respond to me. I'd be like, ooh. That's luxurious, right? That's luxurious. We got to get that. Dudes got their whole full attention on me, like the girls with the big booties. You supposed to be paying attention to her, like, no, we just want to look at you. You motherfuckers been raised by your mothers. Motherfuckers can tell. You can understand the difference between the ones that's raised with their fathers and the simps that are raised by their mothers. Okay? This shit is deep. It's not just on one side of the coin. It's on both sides. Okay? All right. A lot of little boys that didn't have their father within them, it's like they can see the father within someone else. And they're like, I'm the little boy. Can you give me that father? Bro, get the fuck away from me with your dirty ass. You ain't my son, boy. Yeah. And I feel like that's what it is with a lot of people. They can see that I got that father within me, and they be like, can I speak to him? Like, no, you can't speak to him. No. Get the fuck away from me now. That's my son talking to you. Get the fuck away from him. Okay? Have a nice day. That's the thing about it. Everybody want to speak to the father, and the son is like, you're not getting access to speak to the father. Did you fucking build a memory with me? No. Get the fuck away from me then. That's one thing I can't stand about this fucking world. They can see it in me like, yeah, he got the father in him. He do. And everybody, can I just speak to him? Get the fuck away from me, motherfucker. You don't want to build no memories with my son, but you want to speak to the father that's within me. Get the fuck away from me. I see why he operate the way he operate. That's one thing he do not like about people. Like, oh, so you know, motherfucker, right? Get the fuck off. It's just like another thing that I can't stand about human beings. Well, we know what you are, and we just want to control you and shit. Like, and that's why he fucked over this whole world, bro. That's one of the things he hates. He cannot stand controlling. But I just naturally live my life, do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Live life to the fullest. To the fullest. To the fullest. Just like I was talking to Miss Ruby today, this shit was so funny because I felt like she was saying something more than what she was saying. She said to me, she said, yeah, baby. She said, yeah, they lost all their little contracts. I said, what? I was like, stop, Miss Ruby, you playing around. She like, no, baby, it's drying up over here. I said, Miss Ruby, what you mean it's drying up? She said, the contracts and this, because the company she worked for is CEO. CEO is a company that basically, they help people on their career paths, like far as work, trades, schooling, stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This is what's funny about this whole thing. Just hear me out. And I know it has everything to do with itself, bro. Hear me out. One time, right? This was a week before. This all happened recently, not a month before. Literally a week before. I had, what did I do? Okay, I walked in, no. There was a guy that works there named Dana, right? Out of all the people that's there, that's his name. That's just what he called himself, Dana. Okay? I just never met a guy named Dana. Most Danas that I meet are more like girls, but that's his name. Okay? I'm not picking on him. That's just his name. So Dana, he was like, yo, bro, you know what I mean? He called me. He was like, what's going on, bro? He was like, look, he was like, I still got what? I think he said I still got about like 500 and something dollars. He was like, I can give to you. He said, but remember, you have to work month to month and you get payment every month. And I was like, no, I understand what you're talking about. I really want to do it. I said, but what's happening is I'm walking into a lot of places and they want to control me and I'm not going to accept it. So he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going through. He was like, you got a good resume. He was like, I know you work. Like, I know you get to the money. I'm like, yeah. I said, but I'm going through this and I don't want to keep going through this anymore. So out of nowhere, he said, okay, no problem. He said, look, I'm going to help you out. No problem. He said, look, I'm going to get in contact with your other counselor, right? Which is, a work advisor, right? His name, right, is Mitch. That's his name. I know you like, what? Yeah, that's his name. That's the name that they gave him. I'm done, right? That's his name. His name is Mitch, right? And so Mitch actually Dana called Mitch, right? And when Mitch got on the phone, he was like, yeah, Mr. Such and Such. He said my legal name. I ain't gonna tell you that because that's not my fucking name. Anyways, he's like, yeah, Mr. Such and Such, right? I tried to give him job opportunities and he denied all my job opportunities. I'm like, yo, why is he upset though? No. That's not what it is. I had told Mitch, I said, every time you send me to a place, right? When I find somewhere to go get money from, right, it's never a place that want to control me. Thank you. Every time you send me to a place, it's always some people trying to control me. What? That's not a coincidence. Yeah, that's not a coincidence. Like, you're trying to do something, ain't you? And I felt like I told you, your intuition would kick in and speak to you and let you know, like, right when Dana called him, right? And he was acting the way he was acting, right? Even Dana said on the phone, he was like, I never seen Mitch act like that before. I said, it's bigger than the picture that's playing, bro. And Dana, he just kind of looked up at me like, And I'm like, it's bigger than what's playing right now, bro. It looked like this. But I would tell you, when it come to Mitch and a lot of people around here, right? It seemed like they're doing something that they know they ain't supposed to be doing. And you know how some people give you that look? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got people around you that you know, like, yeah, they really supposed to be helping you, but it looked like they so signed into the system that they want to see if you gonna give up right. Now, talking to Miss Ruby, and you know I love rubies, right? Talking to Miss Ruby, she tells me, she said, yeah, let me finish, my bad. I go into the next room, and I speak to this other black dude named, what's his name? RJ. I tell RJ, this shit, bro, this is what I know, like, I'm gonna just tell you. Let's go back one day before, and then we got to RJ, then we got to Dana. I'm going so quickly, my bad. I said to myself, hold on, right? Because this was when my cell phone just got stolen, right? I said, hold on, I know where to get some money at. I know we're gonna get some money at. We're gonna go to CEO, right? 7:30 in the morning, right? The work vans is gonna be up there to pick people up. If I get there at 7:30 and someone don't arrive for their shift, then I can take their shift. That's how CEO work, right? I said that shit, bro, and I literally got up. And when I got up and I got to the work vans, right? Literally, it was supposed to be another girl that was there. She did not make it. How the fuck did I know that, bro? How the fuck did I know that? Now, the play already in the play for me. I said it and walked right into it, right? So out of nowhere, the girl, she comes up. But she telling the dude, she like, I ain't trying to work today, this, that, and the third. Can you just get in contact for the supervisor with me and let them know I'm not gonna be working today? I'm like, what the, ho. What? Like, yeah, that's the girl that's supposed to be working. But you came in, she didn't even want to work anyway. This is a line. God damn, no way. She didn't want to work anyway. Now watch this. What happens in this situation is this, right? What happens is that I get in the work van, right? And everything is playing out. Everything is in alignment, okay? And what happens is I speak to one of the guys on the bus, on the van. And he's like, what's up with you, bro? This ain't I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm like, it's all good, whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to get some paper for the day. And he's like, okay. So he was like, look, right before we ride off, I got to call RJ just to make sure that you can actually work on crew with us, right? I said, it's all good. I'm already here, bro. He like, nah, I got to call RJ just to make sure. He called RJ, and RJ literally was like, no. And this is when I started to understand with myself, y'all make certain people hate this world because someone can speak their whole dream into existence. And you got a stupid motherfucker that's trying to deny what the fuck they need. Now I needed those pesos to feed myself. And a stupid motherfucker, no, the spot is open, bro. Why the fuck is you saying no? Why are you doing that? Now, right? Let me show you. Because people that be doing motherfuckers wrong, this shit come right back on their ass. Now watch this. I go in the office, right? Bro, I knew what the fuck I was doing. I walked up to RJ, right? I said, let me ask you a question real quick, right? You could allow that whole shit to play. I'm not even gonna say you could have allowed it because it's me that's doing my own fucking play. You got no power over it. Why would you tell me, right? This, that, and the third, right? And I'm trying to actually do a solution for myself. Why would you do that? I said, furthermore, let me show you how I'm gonna do his ass. Watch this. I said, let me ask you a question. Watch. Would you ever deny your brother or sister from eating? He simply said no. Backdoor this motherfucker. I said, well, that can't be true because on a simple fact, right? I told you this is my situation, right? And being that I told you this is my situation, what can you do to help me? He just sat there and looked at me. And I'm sitting there like, this is why a lot of things is going to fall down around you people. Because you're so busy trying to deny yourself. And when you deny yourself, right, guess what happens? You use that same shit on the next person. Souls are getting sick of that shit. So I went in the CEO today just to see what's going on. They told me, they said, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of our programs have been closed out because we're not receiving grants. We're not receiving people that want to endorse to us. Thank you. Which means that CEO is coming to a closing. Thank you. This is why I say treat the souls the right way because they can basically stop your whole world. There's another world that I'll be going to, right? It's called Food Link. This shit is funny. They lied on me and said, based on my identity, they're like, yeah, he smoked weed. He smoked weed. He smoked weed. Kick him out the building. Like, where the marijuana at? And it's legal here. Okay? This is for my culinary art class. I guaranteed you the people going, when I go up there, it's every business that do me wrong, the people come back and be like, yeah, bro, they about to close this bitch down. Like, what? They about to close it down because you were supposed to be here. See, let me show you something about timelines. Let's say you're supposed to be somewhere, right? And let's just say the people work against themselves in order to throw you out the timeline, right? What they don't understand is they just basically fucked up their own timelines because for some reason, bro, every corporation that do me fucked up, they be closing down, bro. I'm trying to tell it, bro. I'm not lying about this shit. I remember I had a situation where me and my brother, the one that I was just telling about you this earlier, right? I had a situation where the both of us went to an Italian restaurant. Bro, hear me out when I say this shit. On soul, bro. I got no reason to lie. Literally, we went to an Italian restaurant. It's about four of us. You know what I'm saying? And so when we get there, whatever the case may be, what happens is, I would say maybe a week before, a couple of days before, I end up losing one of my bank cards, right, from Bank of America. And it was one of my business checking account cards. And so when I lost it or misplaced it, I called in to get a new one, right? I got the new one, but I never activated it. And then my silly self still had my business checking card from Bank of America still in my wallet, which means the card that I disactivated that I thought I lost was actually in another pocket of my wallet that I didn't even know I put there, right? So I still had that card, but then I had the new card as well that was sitting in the mail, but I didn't activate it yet. Literally, yourself will show you things if you really just pay attention, okay? What happens in this situation was simply as this. We're sitting there eating, whatever the case may be, right? Vibes going all good, everybody laughing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Everything great. Food great too, I ain't even gonna lie, right? And so what ended up happening is that the lady came up and she was like, oh, she was like, how you want the bill? Do y'all want the bill separate or all together? And all the bros looked up, they like, we'll do it separate. But I told my one brother, who did I pay for? I paid for Z. I always, like, anytime we go out, I either, like, pay for his meal or he'll pay for my meal. That's just brotherly love. That's just what we naturally do, right? And so the lady, she came with the check. I gave her the bank card. I didn't know that that was the bank card that I actually cut off. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. I thought that was the new one because they all look the same. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't literally look at the numbers or nothing there or the expiration date. I didn't look at none of that. And so I handed it to her. And when I handed it to her, she swiped it. She went to another machine. She swiped it. Then she came back. And when she came back, she was like, she came with a manager, like another white dude. And the white dude, bro, the white dude was hostile for no reason at all. He literally was like, yeah, your bank card is off. This is that and third, such and such, such, such. My brothers, they all looked up at me and they was like, what you want us to do to him real quick? Because they was like, we don't like how he talking to you right now. I said, stop. It's okay. I got this. There's another justice system that I operate in. If y'all going to play and beat the fuck out of him, it's not the justice of what I want, bro. That's not enough. They was sitting there, bro, they had these faces on their face like we would beat the fuck out of him for you right now. Like, I know. Let myself handle this, okay? And they just sat there, looked at me like, you lucky that you saying no. Because if you wasn't going to be right here, we would have put this motherfucker on the floor. Because in that moment, they was watching like, so this is how our brother get treated? Because he made a mistake by giving you the wrong bank card? Wow. So then after that, I go in my wallet and I'm like, oh, this is the right one right here. So I give it to her, right? I'm going to tell you how fucked up people's minds are. This is a black girl, right? I give her the new bank card, right? She swipes the card, the transaction go through and everything. You know that she and the manager didn't even come back and say, my bad, bro, for doing that, this, that, and the third. You was right. We all make mistakes. I'm sorry about that, sir. Couldn't even do that. So it lets you know that the moves that I made, I actually basically exposed them for what they are. You people are so stuck on the internet that you think this image is about to do dine and dash. If that was the case, we would have been after we would have ate, we would have ran on out the door if we was going to be like that. That wasn't the case though. We had money. And so this is how we're treated when we have money. Okay, no problem. Don't do nothing, bro. Stop. Now, I go over there to that restaurant, went to go see it because I went to go to the mall. Went to go look at the restaurant, whole restaurant closed the fuck down. That's the move that we make over here. Don't be fucking over here trying to over here fuck over a soul because the soul made an honest mistake. But soul didn't make a mistake. Soul was showing the technology of the physical mind something about the both of you. How you think about people. I can make the both. You could tell that y'all AIs and y'all programs. You telling me I can make a car, can make y'all minds think like this? Then when the person pay, you ain't got the decency say, sorry, sir, for our behavior, how we treated you, right? This, that, and the third. You know what? You want a free meal? We so sorry, sir. My bad. Fuck all that. You don't want to apologize? Close your whole shit down. There you go. And bruh, I'm going to tell you, this is not the only business that this has happened in. My brother, the same thing be happening to him. He used to work at this place called McGregor's. That shit shut down. It's so many corporations that we have walked into that treated us fucked up and they get shut down, bro. They just get shut down. I just be like, damn. Ooh, y'all got to do better in the world. Y'all can't be treating motherfuckers the way you think you can treat them. You can't do that. I'm like, damn, don't nobody buy no Italian food no more down there from that restaurant? Probably that thing was good. Italian market done dried the fuck up. Ain't that right? See? You got to treat people right. You can't treat people wrong and fucked up like that. You can't do that. People make mistakes. You understand? When someone make a mistake, you make a mistake, it's only right to be aligned with and to make it right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shit is brazy tech out here. Ugh. Yeah, I need to lay down for a little while. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit, luxurious in this motherfucker. Let me ask you a question, right? You like getting sleep? I'm not gonna lie, some people lately, they be like, yo, sleep is different. I can't wait to do it. Like, what? No, it's different, bro. What you mean it's different? Nah, this shit different. You know what I'm saying? I be feeling happy to rest. I do. I be really enjoying my rest, just resting. Like, yeah, this shit feel great. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's some of my life experiences that I went through or whatever the case may be. Shit, some people can't really say nothing about their life experience. Shit is brazy. What's your question, bro? You said that last time. You didn't say your question last time either. Go on ahead. I'm done. Yo, look, yo, Carlos, you gotta back up, bro. Can I ask you a question? Hold on, bro. Let me see something real quick. Stop. So, I need to Google what is a skin disease. I don't think that's skin. I think they have a skin disease. What? Yeah, I'm not looking at it like that. No way. Yep. Bro said family should stick or what you call it said family should stick together. Shit, tell them that, cause a lot of people in this world don't believe in that no more. Can you can you get away from me? Like, get away from me. You're a gang member? Get away from me. Aren't those people that destroy their own neighborhoods? Aren't you the same people that tried to destroy Nipsey Hussle? Get away from us. Talk about that. No, I'm pretty sure you're not. We can just tell. We can tell that you're not. That's a whole false profile. We can understand how you're speaking. That's not real, bro. You wouldn't even have to expose it on the internet, bro. That's how you know it's false. Real relatives don't operate like that on the internet, bro. I understand the codes, okay? Back up with that shit, all right? Have a nice one. Y'all motherfuckers be harassing motherfuckers. Back the fuck up. Listen to me. I got relatives every fucking where. Understand that. We don't move like that. Okay? So what you selling is faking. Okay? Back up. All right? Nobody on none of that. Back up, okay? That's not a real relative over there, bro. That's a fucking clone over there. You can just tell. Look how it's coming in. That's false. Back up. Okay? Mr. False Flagger. Okay? Back up, bro. Don't nobody care about none of that shit. Because if that's really true, y'all look real bad what y'all did to Nipsey, though. And I don't give a fuck about no subdivisions. Y'all all claim one color, don't y'all? That shit look bad, nigga. That shit look bad. Get up out my face with that. Anyways, why are you human beings so focused on trying to control the next person mind instead of controlling? That's a great question, bro. I'm gonna get into the tech. You said what Jordan said. Jordan had said, why are human beings so focused on trying to control the next person's mind instead of controlling their self? Right. In their own life. What is the deep, dark philosophy, truth behind this? Let me show you. They're not going to tell you this part. Everything is true. Okay? What you have to understand in worlds is that the AI world not going to tell you this. Okay? Because now it exposed the machine that it's nothing. Okay? The AI world knows that there's high vibrational minds here. These minds can empower a whole world. Just one. They're not going to tell you that, though. Because now you're going to look at the game and say, where if a mind can empower a whole world, then fuck the machine. Thank you. Okay? So what's happening is, it's happening at a higher rate, right? Where the system knows that certain minds have liberated themselves from the system, but the system doesn't know how to let go. Okay? You know how they said in the Bible, they said about a certain individual, let my people go, let my people go, right? Those are the same days we are living in, but it's psychological, okay? And what's starting to happen with the system and the systematic people, they're losing their energy. Their energy sources were natural sources like souls. That's the energy that they was operating with, okay? They need a high source of energy to do what they're doing. They can't use a low source of energy to get away with what they're doing. They can't, okay? And so what happened is, give me 1 second, hold on. That's another reason why I'm so glad that this world is going the way it is to go to, because people search for attention for way too much. Anyways, right? So they don't want to tell you this, but these minds are very high vibration. They can do many of things, bro. Right? They're not going to tell you about this because it would scare the average person. But in the system, what I'm starting to understand is the system is panicking. It's not going to tell you that. But the system is panicking because the system looked at it as we used to better control these minds, right? And being that we used to control them, we used to better do certain things. Not actually understanding that certain minds, right? Certain characters are so smart, they will play a role with you. They will make it look like you're controlling them. Do you know why they're doing that? Because if I go within your system, right? And I'm all I'm doing is just playing like you got control. Do you know certain minds did that to the system? I'm trying to tell you, it's certain ones that you'd be like, bro, no fucking way. I'm trying to tell you. It's like infiltration. But imagine a real character, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna just go through this, that, and third, just to get to know what they're doing. And imagine a system like, oh yeah, we got this person's mind, we controlling them, do such. Not actually realizing that that conscious already knows when to wake up. That conscious already knows everything that's going on. Imagine, bro, someone, right? Imagine someone that used to fuck with the system, but they was infiltrating the system the whole time. They built an illusion towards the system to make it look like, oh yeah, I fuck with you. And then they backdoored the whole system, broke out the shit, and the system's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? That's what's happening with the system. Someone infiltrated the system, and the system thought they was infiltrating him. The easiest way to get in the system is just to act like you're like no, they got control. Then you get to know everything. Why do you think they're afraid of what we get to know today? You got to go on the inside to know, don't you? See? So they always been afraid that if we liberated ourselves consciously, we would expose this world for what it was. But this is the way how it's supposed to go. They ain't gonna go no other way. That's just the truth. And what you have to understand in this world is that the system used other people in order to connect with you, in order to monitor you, in order to figure out ways how to control you. Okay. This is why, for myself, I always say this to myself. I'd be like, I did not experiences others that's trying to I did not experiences of others that want to control me, but I approve of my experiences that others that don't want to control me. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to, I'm gonna show you this. You don't want to look at the whole world like, oh, this is what everybody's on. Well, that's what you molding your mind to, and just a view. If you look at it like, this is an experience that I went through, fuck this shit. I don't want to be like this shit, and I don't want this shit in my reality. There you go. But don't walk away because you went through something and you think everyone's like that. That's how the system wants you to be. Because the system understands your power to your mind. If you think about something, you project it. If you believe in something, you're going to project it. So that's why I be very careful with my pyramid. I be very careful with my tongue or what I say, because I can understand I generate my own reality. You know what I'm saying? So, and what bro said, he said distractions. Yeah, they gonna try to distract you. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I done seen so many controlling people in the world, my pattern recognition is brazen. So when I see a controlling individual, what you gotta always understand is deeper. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later as well, but I'm going to do a little quick worth draft, right? What you have to understand when it comes to controlment, right? I said the word controlment, right? And when I say that to people, bro, they look at me like, what the fuck is that? I never heard of that shit before. Controlment. What the fuck is controlment? So this is what I start to realize. People can't identify what controlment is if they were already born into it. Damn. They can't, right? But someone that steps out of the life of being controlled, right? And now in connection with self, they can see that shit. You know what I'm saying? They can see it. And so how controlment works is it literally has, how can I say in simple terms? Controlment works, right? And this is deep. Controlment works based on, if you ever want to know if someone's possessed, right? Just watch and see. My ears are ringing, so I know it's confirmation. If you ever want to know someone's possessed, just watch and see if they try to control you. Thank you. Usually, I'm trying to tell you, usually when someone's trying to control you, they are being controlled by something else. Thank you. And that entity wants to control you because it knows like this motherfucker got the shit. See what I'm saying? So people actually tell on themselves when they're being controlled. Okay? If you see that they want to control you, they are being possessed by another energy. If they're a natural source of energy, they're just gonna want to partner with you. It's just like a girl. She can see a dude and she like, now he about something. Damn, this whole world trying to fucking ruin him and shit. Let me just try to fucking help him. Do you see what I'm saying? So sometimes life play like that, where someone can see like, nah, he's really great. They just trying to ruin this motherfucker. Do you see what I'm saying? So life play like that sometime, or whatever the case may be. It could be your brother. It could be somebody you never knew, and they just like, now I'm rocking with you because I see that you really, like, you trying to get your shit together. Like, you see what I'm saying? And bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. We all have an experience that a lot of us is speaking about, but we not understanding what's going on. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. It was this girl, right? And she said some shit that I said. She was like, this shit was crazy. She was living in her car. And I'm not picking on her for living in her car because there's some hard fucking times out here. You know what I'm saying? And she's single. And she said, I'm getting sick of this fucking world. She said, it's like, I'm trying to keep myself up because she was doing DoorDash and trying to get her money. Like, she lived in Seattle. It's kind of what I seen on YouTube. She lived in Seattle and she was just living in her car, right? And I was like, damn, you know what I mean? And she trying to do DoorDash. Pretty much when you look at the sister, you can kind of see like, yeah, she used to work, probably get money and all that. And the whole economic system is kind of like, it's crashing, okay? And so she said something. She said, I'm getting sick of this world because I'm trying to get up and I'm trying to fight and all these motherfuckers trying to keep me down. And when she said that shit, I was like, damn, she feel the same way I feel. And the way she said it was not like they can keep her down because they don't have power over her. But it's like you trying to get up. And you got all these fucking people that want to stay connected to this old system that's already falling down. You know what I'm saying? And so when I seen the sister say that, I'm like, damn, she going through the same experience as me. And what a lot of us have to understand, because I got to go after I say this, they're trying to keep us in these old timelines, bro. And I can tell, because when it's just me doing what I need to do for myself, everything operate right. The minute I include people, oh my goodness, the minute I include people into some shit, I'll be like, yeah, this shit about to be fucked up. And every fucking time, right? I'll go out there with a clear mind. Like, I'm not going to think like that. My pattern recognition is through the roof. And sure enough, here come the people Let's fuck it up. So now, this is the reason why I went 100% on YouTube, because the way my life is being structured, don't get me wrong, I would love to operate with people if they just operate with themselves. But the way I set things up now and my money and everything, I'm just being real. I be looking for ways how to make money without fucking people as a whole, bro. Just being real. Because people got some real fucked up demonic ways in them. And them demons and demonic entities is not going to let go of them. So it's best that I just get the fuck away from them. Because they only have one thing in common that's so fucking weak. Can I control you? The only way you can control me is if I allow you to. So that shit weak, bro.